necessary common sense skills and sensitivity to these subjects. So, apparently there should be a subject on this and we need to teach it, So today we're going to be talking about how to not be racist, okay? And we're going to just try to make it a little easy as possible and use some common sense in the process. So first we're going to talk about, how to not be racist is like by obviously when you go out places, you talk to everyone. Hang out with everyone. Don't not talk to someone because they're Indian or, whatever they may be, or don't make comments to us and say things about slavery and assume that we want to talk about that because that's actually boring. If it was exciting, trust me, we would talk about it right with you, okay? And that's such a different day and age. We don't live in those times. So don't assume that we read about it. We don't care to read about it. We don't spend our time reading about slavery. If you think we do, you're nuts. Maybe that's what you read because maybe that empowers you, but we have no reason to care about it. So there's no need to bring it up. And no, I don't know anybody in my family that was a slave. So don't ask black people stupid questions like that. That's a perfect example. And no, if we're black, we're not African. I'm American. I'm not African. So don't assume because I'm a black person that, no, I'm American. So the next thing is don't assume all black people like watermelon. I actually never eat watermelon, okay? So we all come from all walks of life. We don't all eat the same foods, and that's just how it is. So don't assume, offer that to Tamika or, whoever. Or don't assume that we want your leftovers or are desperate or can't afford to get our own things or that we can't get our own drinks because we are a black person. I'm just trying to get you to see, like, yes, it's nice. We like for people to do things for us, but don't make the assumption, I've been around all white people where I've stayed at places and, everybody is in the common area and we share our common experiences. And what's fascinating is you'll find out that you're getting actually treated better than your non-white people when it comes to dates. And they're like, I've never had anybody do that for me. So if you talk to us, you'll find out that actually we're being treated excellent when it comes to things like stuff like that. And don't assume that black people don't watch the news. We watch the news and, we want to be safe too. And don't assume that we live in a bad neighborhood or assume that, you can't afford to stay here. This place is $5,000 a month. We make money too, so don't assume that we can't afford to stay in the best of the best in whatever city we're in. And we might be able to even afford more than you. I'm sorry to tell you. So don't make those assumptions. We watch the news and, even when we are in trouble, don't assume that we want to stay in trouble or that we lack the common sense that, it's just like if you're in a courtroom, there is a way you're supposed to show up. And we have respect for ourselves and we know that we are not above the law just because you've seen some black people breaking the law. And then we shouldn't assume that if a crime is committed, that it was committed by a black person. So if you hear about a robbery, don't assume it was a black guy that robbed the store. It just may be your race. So you might want to stop making these preconceived thoughts. Okay, so again, some of us grew up in white neighborhoods and we didn't grow up in an all-black neighborhood and that we couldn't stay in an all-black neighborhood. And those people don't like us. So don't assume that they don't assume that black people can get along with other black people either. Like, oh, she's black, you're black. So don't make those assumptions, because again, everybody comes from different walks of life. So that's not necessarily true. And there's another thing. Sometimes I think you guys don't understand that other black people are biased of other black people. It's just something that sometimes people don't know. And then if you are not black, don't pretend to be black, or don't say things that are touchy. Like, yeah, don't talk about like colorism and stuff like that. Like, don't do that, you know. And then don't try to belittle us if, you know, like, because what you guys have to understand too is that we've also noticed how the dating scene is, where if it is a white male and if he does happen to date a black woman, he will take the darkest of the darkest black woman, and her hair could be natural, you know, and kinky, and he will still take her. So don't try to use your colorism stuff with us, and we don't care. And beauty is only skin deep, and some of us, we don't have to use our beauty to get ahead in life. And yes, so like, some of us, we're just so smart that we don't even have to use our beauty. Okay, so also watch your language in front of us. We do not want to hear you saying things like the N-word as an example, or anything else that is a derogatory language category. And we know you don't want to hear us use the H word, you know. So it's the same way. And yeah, we're not going to call you weird things, you know. So don't call us weird things. And it's the same thing for you Hispanic people who try to call some black people monkeys and stuff like that. You know, you need to grow up, okay? Because we know you wouldn't want people calling you a wetback as an example. So it's just like, treat people how you want to be treated. That's what it goes back to, okay? That's why we're teaching this video, and that's why we're putting this out there. Because some of you lack the sensitivity, and you need to think about things, you know? And if you wouldn't want someone to say something to you, then that's what you should do. You should think about how you want to be treated, and then know that's how that person wants to be treated. And then in the dating scene too, we shouldn't assume that black women are easy. Some of us, we come from a 2-parent household, and you know, just like our white counterparts, we want to get married and have children too. And everybody shouldn't be given the stereotype of, you know, like a baby mama, you know, or assume that, you know, like, just because you see her without someone that, oh, she's a baby mama. And she could, you know, have a significant other. He could just be at work, you know. So I'm just saying, don't make these preconceived, you know, thoughts. And then for you white men, don't assume that black women are easy because of people thinking that black people are the bottom of the bottom, you know. People, you know, we don't need you, you don't need us, okay? Really, like, everybody should learn to get along, you know. That should be something that happens, but apparently that's not what happens, and that's why we're making this video today. So all I'm trying to say is, don't assume things, that too. So also, don't look at black people weird when you go places, like not smiling when you walk by, you know, like you know, or doing like a, you know, like if they're walking by, like you don't want to be near. Yeah, don't do that type of stuff, people. You know, don't be biased or making it segregated by sitting only by your own kind and your own kind only. You know, the world is not supposed to be like that. We're all supposed to come together. And then don't assume that we know how to make chicken or that we like chicken because we are black. Some of us, we honestly don't know how to make chicken, okay? So we shouldn't make the assumption that this person eats chicken, or, oh, no, make it fried because, she's black and she's coming over. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Yeah, yes, that's what she wants. So this is where I'm going with this. Don't make those assumptions, okay? You never know, so you shouldn't. Don't assume we like soul food. My favorite food actually is Mexican food. So I'm just trying to get you to see something here. I like America's favorite food. And what is that? That's pizza. So I'm just trying to say we should not make these assumptions about black people, because it's not going to necessarily be true for everybody. And even in the court system too, there are black people who get special treatment in the court system too. Believe it or not, based on, how you look and present yourself as well, they do the same thing, so the next thing is, don't assume, because we're black that, we know all black people, or assume that we're together. So if we're in line standing somewhere and there's a black person behind me, don't assume that I know them because they're black or that they're with me. No, we don't. I came here by myself. They came here by themselves. Don't assume that I know another black person, or assume that I want to talk about a black person, like where you're like, oh, it's just like if I'm a lawyer and you're not black, and then you're like, oh, wait, I know another lawyer and she's black like you, perhaps, you would want to, we're going to make it so you can meet her. So you're assuming that, that we want to be friends because we're both black. Like, no, introduce us to your friends, but introduce us to everyone. Don't just be trying to introduce us to other black people. We want to know everybody. Like, that's like keeping things segregated, doing that. And that's not how life is, people. Or don't assume that we have never dated a white person or a Hispanic or Asian or Indian because we're black. No. Men are men, people. So that means if a man finds you attractive and you present yourself in a good way, then, it's equal opportunity. You can get dates from them too. And don't assume that, black people don't know how to act in public, because that they're black, don't make that assumption. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. That this is probably part one, because I'm sure there might be some questions below eventually where someone has, some special requests, or you want a part two, or you need more, where you feel like that this video still didn't give you everything, that you're looking for on how to not be racist, or just remember, people are people. We're all the same, and we all want to be happy. We all love gifts. We all like to eat. Like, it's the same, people. We all want to be treated good. We all want to feel good. We all want to have great life experiences. That's what's important, and that's what everybody needs to remember. We all want to be invited to functions. We don't want to be singled out and, not have a partner or get whatever it is we want in life. We want to be treated good, So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the comments below. Please like the video and please subscribe. And if you have any questions, or you have